This video is part of a series of SSIS tutorial videos created by COZYROC. In this video, I will show you how to configure a package that loads some columns from a flat file into one table and other columns from the same flat file into a second table. Here's the file I'll be working with as the source data. And it's a CSV file. I have it open in Excel. And so we're going to be copying a bunch of these columns, let's see, into the first table that I have set up. And then we'll copy the last 4 columns into a second table. And in addition to these 4 columns, I'll also include the establishment column in that second table. Now here is how I have the tables set up. So this is the first table, which we're calling gamer info. And then the second table is called the profit sharing info. And in both tables, I have the establishment column set up to be 100 characters in length, and the rest of them are all 50. And so here you can see establishment column in the second table is set to 100 in length. And now we're in Visual Studio. So I'll just get a data flow task and then go over to the data flow canvas. And we'll start, of course, with the flat file source component. And that'll be used to read the CSV source file. And now we'll double click to open the editor, and we need to set up a new connection manager. And of course it'll be a flat file connection manager, and we need to browse to find it, and I need to have it search for CSV files, not text files. And this is the file I'll be working with. And I just want to show you, if I don't change the text qualifier here and just leave it set to none, if we look at the columns, they're not being parsed correctly because the establishment names have commas in them, or at least most of them do. And so it ends up thinking that anything after the comma goes to the next column, and our license numbers got shifted over for most of the records. So I'm going to go back here to the General tab and set our text qualifier to double quotes. Now if we look at the columns, you can see the full establishment name gets put in the establishment column, and all the license numbers are lined up in the correct column and everything after that. And I want to change the establishment column here to be 100 characters in length. And I'll leave all the rest of them set to 50 characters. And again, if we do a preview, you can see everything is lining up correctly. All right, so we're done with the connection manager. And we need to make multiple copies of the input records. So we'll get the multicast and drag that onto the canvas. Stay tuned to see how I complete the configuration of the package and execute it.
Do you need to sort large amounts of data that can't be sorted using the standard sort? How many times has the standard sort component failed you when sorting more than 2 gigabytes of data? With COZYROC Sort Plus component, you can sort any amount of data and any number of records. It's free for testing and development and provides the same set of capabilities like the standard sort component, and yet it does so much more. It's not limited by the amount of available RAM, also can accept multiple inputs, and all processing is done in parallel using a configurable number of threads. COZYROC's Sort Plus provides optimal utilization of your server's resources, sorting very large amounts of data in a reasonable time. Download the Sort Plus component now. COZYROC SSIS Plus is free for testing and development within Visual Studio.
Now we'll start setting up the OLE DB Destination for the first table. And this is the gamer info table we'll be working with. And of course it only has the first set of columns that I showed we're going to be putting into this table. And I need to set up a connection manager yet for this server. So this is the correct server. And then I'll choose the table. And that'll be the gamer info. And we can view existing to make sure I cleared out that table, and it is empty. And we'll look at mappings. It looks like everything got mapped correctly here. So all the names are exactly the same. And again, there's several columns that won't be loaded into this table. So I'll click OK. And now we'll set up another OLE DB component for the second table. And this one I'm calling something like profit sharing table. So I'll double click to open the editor and choose the profit sharing info table. And again, we'll make sure this table is empty to start with. Look at the mappings. And so now we have just the establishment column mapped. And then the last four columns from the source are mapped to the last four columns in the destination. All right, now I'll save the package and we'll execute it. And it was successful, so I'll stop debugging. And we'll go over to Management Studio and we'll take a look at both tables. We have the correct columns in each table. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to follow us on social media, here's how you can do that.